say nigga now.
In 2018, TikTok garnered more downloads than YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. And as even its most ardent haters admit, it has gained a foothold in the psyche of tomorrow's young adults. What is TikTok? It's basically a platform for users to create 15-second videos which normally take the format of dancing, lip-syncing, comedy, or memes. It's also the latest frontline in the culture war between millennials and Generation Z. Why is the media slowly beginning to churn out hit pieces against TikTok? Why are lefty tech bloggers like Taylor Lorenz becoming increasingly more condescending towards TikTok users? Why is Twitter littered with complaints from social justice warriors that TikTok is a platform for toxic masculinity and internalized misogyny? Why are millennial moral gatekeepers becoming so nervous about TikTok? Because any aspect of youth culture that they don't control, which allows for anything other than anodyne, sterile, predictable obedience, terrifies them. They're constantly trying to tear down PewDiePie for the same reason.
TikTok, you know what? We're not so different, you and I.
They're constantly trying to tear down meme culture in general for the same reason. If they can't segregate it into echo chambers, if they can't censor it, if they can't ban it, if in many cases they can't even understand it, then it represents a threat to their colonization of society. As Joshua Citarella writes, 4chan trolling culture and ironic conservatism has seeped deeply into the mainstream of Gen Z's online experience, and TikTok is merely a reflection of that tendency.
When I'm here to tell you that there's actually only one gender, and that gender is male. Women are property.
Easily the most famous and widely replicated TikTok, the Hit or Miss song.
Hit or miss, I guess they never miss, huh? You got a boyfriend, I bet he doesn't kiss ya. He gon' find another girl and he won't miss ya. He gon' skirt then hit the dab like Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, that one. The lyrics to the original are somewhat socially conservative because they condemn e-thots and porn stars.
This is the perfect example why I enjoy TikTok, just making fun of these thirsty for attention girls.
Probably the second most famous and widely replicated TikTok, the I'm Already Tracer song.
I'll be Tracer.
I'm already Tracer.
Yeah, that one. That song began its life as a kind of droopy corporate feminism, respect whamming virtue signal, with the female singer refusing to play a support role in the video game Overwatch. Before TikTokers took it and turned it into a deliberately over-the-top misogynistic demand for women to shut up and get back in the kitchen.
I'll be Bastion.
Nerf Bastion.
You're Retro Winston.
I wanna be Winston.
I guess I'll be Genji.
I'm already Genji.
Then I'll be McCree.
I already chose McCree.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
You should
Go back to the kitchen!
Which is precisely the point. TikTok trolling culture is a backlash to millennial outrage culture. Generation Z is overcompensating and being more edgy and offensive than the progressive zeitgeist allows. It's a kind of self-correcting cultural realignment. Just as in a political sense, the election of Trump and the global populist wave was a kind of self-correcting evolutionary realignment. Listen, kids are biologically driven to rebel. They're innately predisposed to seek out the ultimate taboos, the coolest and therefore the most censored behavior and material. And what could be more taboo than a good make me a sandwich meme?
But I was led astray the day you walked away. You were the clock that was ticking in my home. Changed my state of mind. But love's so hard to find.
I wasn't joking when I said conservatism is the new counterculture. And although Gen Z is the most conservative generation since World War II, maybe conservatism is the wrong word. The new counterculture is just the opposite of the dominant culture. And what could be more dominant and domineering than a political dogma, intersectional identity politics and political correctness that exists to ruin fun, to censor satire, and to eliminate individual identity in favour of one boring, homogeneous, amorphous blob, while simultaneously promoting apathetic, empty lifestyles that promise hedonistic bliss but deliver nothing but vacuity, hopelessness, and depression. Enter TikTok traditionalism.
Oh, you're with her now? Okay. I guess I'll just have to show you what you're missing.
The imminent mainstream backlash against TikTok is also a continuation of Gamergate. It's about depriving young men, predominantly young white men, God forbid, of a space in which to express themselves and have fun. But TikTok is also a space for non-white people to engage in self-deprecating humor.
Hey, I'm on vacation every single day cause I love my occupation.
Which is an absolute nightmare if you're a lefty who is continually trying to balkanize and divide people by race.
Day 1 in Mexico, and so far I'm pretty normal, pretty natural. Alright, day 2. It's pretty good so far. Okay, mis señores, it's now 3 days in Mexico.
If you want to get really pretentious, you can take it a step further. Yeah, let's do that. Observing Gen Z's digital culture over the past several years has meant moving from platform to platform with them, as they change their usernames and preferred networks frequently. It's as if they don't care about building a following or about being recognized in the way platform-loyal millennials do. They only want to join in the interpersonal fabric of mimetic activity and savor the last bit of human connection left on our cold, data-collecting, psychographic profiling platforms. Making TikTok videos is linking oneself to the cultural duet chain. They build narratives of collective participation. Their mimetic actions are mostly meaningless, and in that way mirror the meaninglessness of most actions in today's society. Political action has failed, mass protest has failed, even capitalism has failed, yet somehow we continue our zombie march to the tireless drumbeat of neoliberal austerity. The younger generation now mimes the zombie forms of gaming avatars in order to laugh at a world in which they themselves have no autonomy and are controlled by outside forces. Young people face a future that was set in motion years ago. They will soon inherit a worse economy than any recent American generation. While millennials earnestly tweet about the stress of their student loans and freelance precarity, Gen Z TikToks in a joyous nihilism, mocking a society in which self-determination and upward mobility have long since collapsed. Or in other words, it's a revolt against the modern world. But Paul, you're only talking about TikTok as part of a cynical ploy to attract a new audience to your political dogma. Yeah, but seriously, the audience is already there. I'm not responsible for creating a generation captivated by edgy, offensive, transgressive humor. You did that with your safe spaces, with your trigger words, with your insufferable mental fragility, and your relentless jihad against joy. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Generation Z is a natural, evolutionary, self-correcting antibody to the millennial pathogen that has infected our culture. And TikTok is merely the latest vehicle for that antibody to neutralize its target, which is why the vehicle for the pathogen, the mainstream media, will now begin to relentlessly attack TikTok.
Hey! Whoa, that's cool! Check this out, guys!
Whoa! How?
Ooh!
I'm so shook. That's lit!
Wow! Oh my goodness, thanks for showing us that. Holy smokes.
So get ready. The same thing they're doing to PewDiePie, they'll do to TikTok. TikTok is a platform for hate speech, bullying, misogyny, racism, a gateway drug to the alt-right. You're gonna hear it all. And once again, no one will care, because it's all sound and fury, signifying nothing. The legacy media in its final death throes, lashing out, clamoring for relevance, clamoring for control, clamoring to police thought, speech, and humor. And as ever, failing.